So we are proceeding through the Art Scrolls series on the songs of our King, King David. And as we said before, these are not the stories of glory. These are the stories of the struggles of a human being. As has been said, the real Messiah is underneath us. His job is to lift us up. It's a hard job, because within all the dirt of the world in which we live, he has to succeed. This is song number 12. It says Mizmor is the word in Hebrew for, and Yud Beis for song, and Yud Beis is the word in Hebrew for 12. So this psalm was inspired by a prophetic message foretelling an era when the wicked would succeed in overcoming the poor and the helpless. The threat manifested itself when Saul seemed to be on the verge of subduing David. It occurred again when the entire house of David was threatened with extinction at the hands of the Talia, who annihilated the entire royal seed, with the exception of the infant Yoash, who was hidden. Rashi, going on, writes, David dedicated this psalm beginning with Al Hashminis. Now the Shminis is on the 8th. Now I assumed it was an eight-string instrument to Atalia's atrocity, which occurred in the 8th generation of the dynasty of our king, beginning with King Solomon. David thus prayed that a remnant of his family be spared, saying, Save me, Hashem, for the devout is no more. Now we're talking about a point where the Jewish people have been very close to annihilation, which has happened many times. However, the psalm ends on the confident note that God will surely protect the helpless. Full realization of this wish will come to pass in messianic times, when evil will vanish in the face of the enlightenment gained through the study of Torah. Therefore, this psalm was accompanied by Shminis, the 8-stringed instrument, symbolizing that the forces set loose during the 7 days of creation will finally be bridled and disciplined. Now, it's important for us to understand that these forces that he's talking about, our creation itself, is an act of din. It could be the act of punishment. It could be very difficult. As a result of that, that's how the world is actually made. Made as a sort of squeezed together different forces that brought all the reality that we understand into being, that these forces can be very difficult and deadly. So in this light, we understand why the Vilna Gaon prescribes this psalm. This is a Shir Shal Yom. We have a psalm for every day of the week. The song of the day for the holiday of Shmini Atzeres, which incidentally, is we're saying this right now, shortly after, or 5 months after, the massacre of October 7th in Israel, which took place on Shmini Atzeres. Most of the people who are secular don't realize that this was a holiday that's very sacred to the Jews and to God. And so many people don't know that. So many people, the Jewish people, just have become so alienated they don't realize that Shmini Atzeres is a part of the cycle of holiness. And whether or not you obey it or you don't, it's still there. So on the 7th day of the Sukkot festival, that's when Shmini Atzeres comes, because Sukkot is 7 days, offerings were brought symbolizing the 70 nations who surround Israel. But on the 8th day, the Shmini Atzeres, the offering symbolizes only Israel, who remain alone and exalted in messianic times as God's chosen people. So with this in mind, that remember the massacre that took place at a party, which was not a religious party at all. And the massacre really took place there and around other places like it. And we are still seeing that we are not ready. Here's the song. Number 12. For the conductor on the Shminis, that 8th instrument, a song of David. Save, Hashem, for the devout is no more. For truthful men have vanished from mankind. Each one speaks untruth to his neighbor. Equivocal speech, they speak from a double heart. May Hashem cut off all equivocating lips, the tongue which speaks boastfully. Those who have said, with our tongues we shall prevail, our lips are with us. Who is master over us? Because of the plundering of the poor, because of the screaming of the needy, now I will arise, says Hashem. I will grant safety. He says to him, the promises of Hashem are pure promises, like silver refined in the finest smelting earth, clarified sevenfold. You, Hashem, will guard them. You will preserve them from the wicked, such as are in this generation. The wicked will walk on every side when the basest of men are elevated.